I didn't have to adjust the gear there, that the foot, that's the word I'm looking for. the gear area with my other bikes. I couldn't get my boot under there, so I had to adjust them to allow for more room. I think I'm going to try to do an Insta 360 to get a look at the bike when I'm on it. The other thing I've been thinking about doing is I have another older GoPro camera, and I might mount that rather than use the Insta, which looks bigger. Let's see here. But I might put that camera to start getting some forward facing. When you guys buy used bikes from dealers, or private parties for that matter, do they let you test ride it? I had one guy that when I was looking at one, it was a private party, I ride up on my motorcycle that is more expensive than the one he's selling. And he, you know, basically said, well, he was accusing me that I might ride off and steal it. And I'm like, oh, my bike is worth more than yours. And then he wanted to ride with me. No, he wanted to ride the bike and I ride behind him. Like, I'm not sure what that's going to prove to me about, but he ended up letting me ride only in his neighborhood, which got up to a 25 miles an hour speed limit, which I went faster, but it was just kind of a turnoff. And then the same night, he starts asking me when I'm going to make my decision. How come I haven't made a decision? It's like, I told him I was just up there to look at the bike, and when I got up there, I didn't like, you couldn't tell some of the things in the photo. I didn't like it. I guess he thought since I rode it, I should have been ready to buy it. And you just can't see everything in photos online. Like rust. All the scratches. Not that it has, a used bike has to be perfect. But I'm glad I held out for this one. Let's see. These turns are where I've come around and people are all over the road. I've kind of got used to, I will admit I'm a little nervous on this bike for sure, and the lean angle, and you know, I'm still learning myself. I feel like even though I've got, between the two bikes I've owned, I have ridden just under 21,000 miles and about let's see, we'll call it 3 years. I think it is now. Yeah, it's flown by. But I see these used bikes that have like 500 miles on them, and one of the theories I read online was people buy Harleys or whatever bike just to say that they have it one in the garage. Maybe so. Trying to determine if the different readings on gas are consistent. You have this gauge and that one. I think that's the range. I want to be looking down too much of those things. Can't remember the way these back roads link in, but I think they double back. I'll find where I'm at. I ride around here all the time, but you get a little lazy because I got GPS. Anytime I get lost, I just point it to home to kind of get me back to main routes. I really like the sound of that. It feels good. Better than my Super Chief, I'd say, maybe, when I'm accelerating. Now this road to the left, I think that's where I'm gonna go, but sometimes when I've done this road, there's a dog that chases me. I actually ended up putting some hot sauce, whatever you call it, stuff, pepper spray sort of stuff, in my other bag. Oh, this road is also, there's been a lot of hunters. I'm not against hunting, but I don't want it done on my property, trespassing. But a big deal out here is letting the dogs run all over everybody's property. And these guys, they come hunt these woods, and they expect you to stop while they hunt from the side of the road, and also when they retrieve their dogs. And I'm not exaggerating. I'm sure there are exceptions that people don't do this, but we have personally seen it where they just park on the side of the road and wait for their dogs to push the deer out here, and then they'll just shoot from the road, which is my understanding is illegal. That you can't shoot, I think it's 100 or 300 yards from a road. But I don't mean to start a debate on the topic. It's a very heated topic out here, and we've come down this road recently and had these guys basically yelling at us to slow down. We're going under the speed limit, and basically they want us to stop so that they can do whatever they're doing, and get pretty arrogant about it, that this is our heritage, and all the way back to George Washington. Well, George Washington wasn't driving a Ford F-150 blocking traffic, yelling at everyone and giving the finger because they're coming down the road. And when some of these folks start acting like George Washington, they get a little more respect. I'm not a hunter, but I carry for self-defense and love shooting a lot. There's always been this divide between some of the hunting crowd and some of the recreational self-defense crowd. You would think that they would be normal allies, both on the side of pro-gun, but they're not. I've been involved in the politics side of it for a long time, and I'm sure I'm going to piss off some people listening, but a lot of times the hunters, as long as the politician claims that, you know, they're for hunting, they're done. They lose interest in the topic. Whereas the self-defense crowd is the one that's often the one being targeted with all these silly gun bans. And the politicians divide and conquer, and the self-defense crowd is for all gun rights, including hunting. And I know there are exceptions. I know people who are hunters but also carry for self-defense, but they don't all do. But also, because my hobby is recreational shooting, I don't think that means I get to come and block the road and claim it's my heritage to use your property because my dogs can't read your trespassing signs, which is the excuse we always hear. It's like, well, neither do my bullets. My bullets don't read trespassing signs. So should I set them loose? I kind of lost track. I'm not sure if I passed the house where that dog is. I came the other day, well, a few weeks back. I don't think I got it on camera. But there were two pit bull looking dogs in the road, and man, that sucked. So I'm really liking the feel of the bike here. I guess that's the odometer, and I gotta be sure I get the 1901. Which one's the range? Ah, that one. One that says range. This hill to the right is really hard to see to make the left. So I'm gonna actually go to the right, which is where I think I'm going to do kind of one last loop, and I'm going to head home. Again, hopefully this footage recorded. Appreciate you guys riding along on my first ride on this 2022 Indian Springfield. So when I was in high school, you know, CB radios were really big. There were no cell phones back then. We had bag phones. I was telling my kids about this. I had a bag phone at one point inside my car. You had to buy prepaid calling plans. The thing weighed like a brick and it plugged into the cigarette lighter. So back then, in high school, CB radios in our trucks were the thing. And one of my buddies pegged my name as the Ramblin' Man because of just some different stuff. And I remember his handle was Cowboy, and when he was leaving, you know, it was always like, "This is where the cowboy rides away," or whatever he would say. And so stupid looking back, but that got me thinking, because I was about to close out this video. I used to say, "This is the Ramblin' Man heading down that lost highway." Maybe that's how I should close every video. I'm not gonna do that, but maybe I'll close this one out that way. This is the Ramblin' Man headed down that lost highway. Like a rolling stone.